Welcome to this very special episode, the interview with Les Brown. Wonderful episode that we have here today. And the reason that it's magical is because this is an interview where my husband and I, the creators of Driven Livin, the creators of the Wellness Driven Life Show, are being interviewed by Mr. Les Brown himself. And why this is so special is because there's a backstory here. There's a history here with Les Brown and Manlee and me. We were so into his teaching, his wisdom, and his insights early on, around the time that we became to know one another. And so the introduction to each other in our lives and to Les Brown is something that's very special, near and dear to our hearts. I'm excited to have you be here with us today. Tune in to get that backstory because there's a lot of insight here. And there's a lot of creation of the Wellness Driven Life Show, how it came about, and all of the backstory. It's an interesting time period as well. When we recorded this interview that we had with Les Brown, it was during the time, around the time when we first started the show and we first started the creation. So this is a historical piece, to say the least, that we've never aired into the public. So again, I'm excited to have you here to share this journey. Tune in for this wonderful story. Welcome to the Wellness Driven Life Show, where you're about to go on a wellness driven ride.
Have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, I'm Les Brown, and I have two special guests today, April and Manlee Chavez. And they have an inspiring story behind the mic, and they have a show that people have been talking about and raving about, and that's changing people's lives. And I'm encouraging you to watch it. It's called the Wellness Driven Life Show. I want to know the story of how y'all got together, but first of all, hello, how are you?
We're doing well. I don't have down like you do, and you're a big shadow, sir. So just I'm doing well, and in presence of greatness and somebody who's the master motivator. And I'd love to talk about that when we get an opportunity. And I'm going to turn it to my wife.
I feel incredible to be here. Thank you so much for having us, Les.
Well, first of all, I know that I'm in the presence of greatness, so I'm going to behave myself. Listen, how did the two of you meet?
We met through work. And so I was working a night shift and he was working the day shift. So we met per clocking in. So he was clocking out as I was clocking in. And he told me his name, and I said that his parents were sadistic for naming him Manlee, and the rest is history.
What did he say?
I probably agreed. And my first name is Manlee. It's not a nickname. It's not a catchphrase or something I earned. It's just something I was born into. I have no real idea why my name is that, but I had an
What's wrong with the name? I love that name, Manlee. What's wrong with that?
Well, thank you. But when you're like, 2 years old, 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, and you're small and junior high, that name's hard.
Oh,
so,
okay.
But I appreciate your approval. That makes my day.
and so the two of you, yes, connected. There was a chemistry. There was a connection between the two of you as a result of that.
Well, we didn't know it right away, but we went out that night just as for that night. I invited her to come to a live karaoke, and it's karaoke a little bit different than the regular karaoke. There's actually a band, so like a real bass player, a drummer, singers, backup singers, which is pretty interesting. So she came to that, and we did have a connection. And I'm like, hey, you want to come out the next night and maybe go dancing? And because I love to dance with a name like Manlee, you either gotta learn to dance so you can dodge punches or something else. So.
He's a great dancer.
So you could bust a move. So what kind of dance do you do, Manlee?
Well, I don't think I have a style. But any songs or any music, I just like to flow to. R&B could be hip hop, could be we like a lot of rock and roll, and just anything that's pretty much anything. I'm not a great country dancer because I like to do my own thing. So people will line dance and I'll be doing my own thing. And I've had line dance instructors like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Making it better."
Yeah, my daughter, Ona Brown, who is a coach, she says, "Dad, when you are dancing, I know why you dance in the middle." Said, "Because your facial expressions look like you're getting down, but your body is out of line." Now, tell me, you created this show. Tell everybody about this show that you have created and how you came up with the concept of this show.
Well, I think the show started creating itself, if that's fair to say.
Yeah.
Let me back up a little bit. Like, my name is Manlee, so I'll just give you the quick version. In junior high, I was small and I had a big mouth. So when you're small and you have a big mouth and your name's Manlee, well, you get a taste of your medicine every single day. So I got beat up a lot, which is fine. It hurt at the moment. And I got really good at blocking punches with my face. And then I realized that that's not the way you do it. So I got into martial arts, did a lot of self-development, became a coach, just giving you the fast forward. And then I got really good at it, made a lot of really good connections. And then life happened that paused and I went a different direction. I got into the just day in and day out of working. And about 2016, right when I met April, I had been through one of the worst points in my life where it just was really low. It was horrible. And I won't, or I don't want to, take everybody.
Yeah, you don't have to go there, but that gave birth to the Wellness Driven Life show.
Well, almost. What happened was the time I met April, I was starting to come out of it. And this is where you come in. I started listening and refueling and reaching out and putting positive messages into myself, as well as moving, drinking water, all the things that are important. And I discovered your books and your motivational speeches. And I actually, so some of this is like, and I mean this in the best way, your fault. Like, this show came about because I came back and into positivity. And then that's when I met April, because I was coming out of positivity. And then I shared with her these things that I was learning and developing and remembering. And I'm going to let her talk about a little bit.
Well, I started on my own course of self-development. And so between the two of us, we had really dived into listening, learning, embodying different things to better ourselves and just to become better human beings, because we were going through such hardships, as every human being does. And we were really in discussion last night, Les, about our interview with you and how excited we were. And we came to these realizations that you legitimately played this massive role in inspiring us. And there's many people that have inspired us, of course. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is one that we love near and dear. And so, but we realize that the timing of things is just so unique, and the synchronicity of things is very unique, especially when it comes to this show and all of the things leading up to its birth. And when we created it, we didn't really know what was happening. But over the years, I had made a YouTube channel and I had been purchasing equipment, and I didn't really know why. I just felt like I wanted to, something struck an inspiration. And when we decided to do it, so many people were there for us. Kim Jacobs really was this huge inspiration for us. And that's how we know you, through Kim Jacobs. And she was my coach in creating the show. But not only Kim, but other people in our lives. Like, when we realized we needed a theme song, we had someone step in, a friend of ours, who helped us create that. And so people with blind faith just felt that it was the right thing to do and believed in us enough to move forward with it. And Manlee had, this is where it gets really wild, but he came to you, listened to your books in 2016, the same period that we met. a couple of months later, 5 months later, he wrote you a message on LinkedIn. But it goes over the timing of it. And so
I'm going to let April read it to you just because.
Okay, let me hear it. All right.
Yes. We would love to share. This is November 4th, 2016. Mr. Brown, thank you for the tremendous job you've done being such an inspiration. I started listening to you about 5 months ago. I know what took me so long. Your words get me started every morning. My life has truly turned around. What's even greater is the impact that the change has had on my son. He made the honor roll this year and has accomplished so much this school year. It's true. The rising tide raises all ships. Thank you for all that you do. Thanks for adding me to your network. Let me know if you're ever in Colorado and need anything, Manlee.
Well, thank you, Manlee. Yes.
Now we're in Texas, so not Colorado, but if you're in Texas,
what part of Texas are you in?
We're in Fort Worth at the moment.
Okay, the Wellness Driven Life Show. Tell our listeners, how can they see this show that you have, and what will be the benefits, the takeaways for them?
Well, really, if you just search up the Wellness Driven Life Show, we're on numerous platforms, or hashtag TWDL.
LDS.
LDS.
Okay.
TLS.
And so, we're really across so many things. We've been pushing people more towards the YouTube channel. We would love to see another 100 subscribers, within this month, and to just have people engage and ask questions. But what's beautiful about the YouTube channel is that it's not just a podcast. It gives you the visual aspect too. And so I really pride that aspect of the show where we give this professional, and it gives somebody something to look at when you can see somebody's emotions and expressions. So many of the guests on the show share their stories of resilience and the tips and the tricks. So when people can apply those things in their own lives to be able to better themselves, that's the goal.
Yeah, I mean, we started the end of February, so February 23rd of this year. Like April said, we just got over 900 subscribers, so that's kind of an accomplishment. So we're told. And we go 5 days a week, and so what
time do you go? What time this show starts?
It's live at 3:45 p.m. Central, and that's Monday through Friday.
And what time? How many hours?
It's about an hour long.
Oh, it's an hour long. Okay. And so, do you have guests?
Yes,
sir. So that's the best part. It's the pinch me moment. And anytime you want, by the way, no pressure. You are invited. We'd be honored. I would
love to be your guest.
Oh my God.
We would love that.
Okay.
I'm just going to pass out right now.
So, all right. No, I need to ask you
2016.
Because you're the guy behind the scene. You are the one. Yeah. You're the perfectionist. You're the creative one. You make sure that the quality and the standards that you want in a show is there, and that you meet those standards. Tell us about operating behind the scene and getting the job done.
So operating behind the scenes is something that I didn't have a lot of experience in, but I'll give you that back to you every morning starting in 2016 when I really, it was a little before that, but 2016, I discovered who you were. And every morning it was a ritual. I'd listen to you, and I drove a truck at the time. And I'll tell you what that did for me. 7 years later, I've advanced in my company so many times that I work for one of the largest logistics company in the world. And I have a pretty prominent position, hence the move to Texas. So I'm a regional safety manager for this large company. And I couldn't have done that unless I had learned to believe in the story of overcoming. That's really the passion of the show. So behind the scenes, there's a lot of things I still don't know yet, but we do a tremendous amount of research, a lot. And
a lot of 2 a.m.ers.
I think, as I probably have explained to other people, it's like jumping out of an airplane without having a parachute, and then trying to figure out how to craft that on the way down. And you say it in a more eloquently way. So I'd like to hear you say that again, because it's inspiring.
Now, April, you were diagnosed with lupus.
Yes, I've lived with lupus my entire life. I've had symptoms since birth. I was diagnosed at 15. So wellness has always been kind of an absolute in my life. I've had to learn how to take care of myself and navigate different things. I couldn't always rely on what the doctors in white coats said, even though we believe in that, we trust in that. And
Yes.
It's not that you shouldn't, but at the same time, it wasn't the reality for me. And because I was so young, I didn't want it to define me. I wanted to be stronger. And so I went into law enforcement a great deal in part of that, because I wanted to prove to myself and to the world that I was stronger. That wasn't something that defined me. But
that says a lot about you, that in the midst of the challenge of lupus, you took on something to demonstrate to yourself and to the world, I'm stronger than this. And your life is an example of that.
It is. And it also has shown me along the path that we are greater. Like you say, there's so much power within us. And really, Les, that is the ultimate key message that I want to portray to the world, is that we're so much more powerful than you can ever imagine. I've seen it, I've lived it, I witnessed it, and I've seen many, many people. The reason that we have guests on the show is because I want to hit a worldwide audience. I mean, This is not just people here, people that I know. This is a massive scope. And I want people to be able to relate with not just me, because they're not all going to. But if I can have many people, then they can find different people to relate with. And they're going to have those aha moments, or those times where they feel so moved because there's the relation there that they're finding with other people. And so, but that is the key thing, is that we can ultimately heal ourselves, because I've done it. I wasn't supposed to live to see 30. I wasn't supposed to be able to have children. I have 3 beautiful, healthy daughters. So, miracles happen. And
without any question, yes. I'm looking at a miracle, and you're looking at a miracle. I'm a 39-year 4th-stage cancer conqueror. Yes. And Amen. So you're a lupus conqueror. So how can people see your show? Let's grow these numbers and get information about you. What's the title of your book?
Well, that book isn't quite written yet, but it's called Stop That.
Stop That.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Stop That.
Look here. And what's the subtitle? What's the subtitle?
I don't know. Don't have a subtitle yet.
I can work with you on that. Well, listen, when you do,
excellent.
Okay, when you say stop that, what are you talking about?
Well, it's all those things that get in your way. When you get in your own way, when your attitude gets in your way. And like I said, and I know I keep the broken record, but that's how you get there, is just continuing to change the pattern, interrupt the pattern. If you doubt yourself, if you let naysayers or somebody interrupt you and like, oh, you can't do that, or why are you doing that, or that doesn't make sense. Well, it doesn't make sense to you, or you wouldn't do it, but I will do it. And those success leaves clues. Your story.
Good. I got something that just dropped in my spirit. Okay. Are you ready for this, Manlee? Stop That. How to overcome your negative self-talk.
Perfect.
That's great.
That's perfect.
Yeah, because people are buying how-to books. Stop That. Yeah. That's the title. And the subtitle, How to Overcome Your Negative Self-Talk.
Love it.
I love it.
Yeah. Are you still involved in law enforcement?
I'm going to write it down.
Yes. Are you still involved in law enforcement, April?
No, sir. I mean, the show is definitely full-time.
Okay, so it's full-time now. Okay, so people can get your show on all the platforms?
I mean, pretty much. I mean, we're not, I think we're on web TV, so it's not necessarily the TV stations out there, but if we're talking podcasts, we're on Apple, Spotify, all of the things, Google, Amazon, and again, the YouTube channel. So if people want to get kind of a good taste of and see that beautiful visual aspect of it with the guests, then I invite them to search up the Wellness Driven Life Show on YouTube.
Okay. The Wellness Driven Life. That's powerful. I'm looking forward to viewing it. The two of you just double dynamite up it here, up it here.
Yeah.
I encourage people to watch you. I can't wait for your book to come out. I'm going to endorse it. I know that you are the real thing, baby.
Aww.
All right.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You're gonna make me lose my mind.
Up it here, up it here.
Awesome. We can get down.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're going to follow up with you now. What is your website and where people can contact you if they want to bring you in to speak or looking for coaching or want to be a guest on your show? How do people get in touch with you?
Well, the website also is www.thewellnessdrivenlifeshow, all spelled out.com. So it's pretty easy to find. And yeah, we are in the creation of numerous possibilities. So this is very fresh, very new still. Again, we started at the end of February 23rd, 23. I'm a numbers girl, so I like that. But our initial goal was to really be able to create this show, have incredible guests, and just keep that going and get that started and be solid in it, get comfortable with it, in order to continue it, because the meat of everything is that's the gift to the world, or the freebie, so to speak, and as we grow in that, and as people learn more about us, that is when we are beginning to build community. And so that's really one of the biggest and most beautiful things, is that community piece.
Oh, yes, absolutely. The Wellness Driven Life Show. That's powerful. Ladies and gentlemen, April and Manlee, they're a powerful couple, and they're going to bring you greatness, passion, and help you to get out of your head and step into your greatness. I want to thank both of you. Make sure you watch their show and reach out to them. I want to say the world is a better place because the two of you are here. You were born and preserved for such a time as this. Thank you so much for being our guest today. Bye for now. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to listen to this wonderful episode of the Wellness Driven Life Show, the backstory of Manlee and me and how we created it, and our very special interview with Mr. Les Brown himself. Thank you so much for tuning in. Without you, the show wouldn't be possible. Be sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Tune in on all of our podcast arena, like Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And also come check us out at our website. We have special guests and special insights for you. And definitely a special gift, our hug book that we created.